In this homework, you will be working with City of Chicago crime data. As you can see here, I've loaded a public data set onto the browser, and it's a pretty large one. It has over 6 million entries. For the homework, I've taken a small subset in a JSON format, and that's what you will use. So let's go ahead and move into the folder that you will use. It has the usual structure. You will work within starter code, and inside of it I'll call out some of the files. The very first one is the data that I mentioned. The second one, exercise.js, is where you will write your code. Heat map simply provides some mapping functions. You do not need to touch it. Run you will use to test. And lastly, and this is only for me, I have a solution.js that I will use to show you what you should expect at the end. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the code. I will start off by, let me move here to my file. I will start off by showing you here run.js. Since you will be using some mapping functions, the very first thing that is done here is to load the Google Maps API libraries. After that, I load the JSON file that I mentioned that has the crime data. I then load in the exercise.js, which is where you will write your code, and I can go ahead and show you that now. And as you can see there, all of the functions that you will be writing are empty. I then have here a placeholder for the map element, and then what follows after that is a script block, and these are the calls to the functions that you will write. There are 5 questions to answer. In the first one, I'm asking you to return a total of all the records that are provided to you in this data set. The second question is for you to count the number of crimes in a specific district, and this time it is District 18. And if you're wondering what a district is, you can see it here in this data set that is publicly available. And if we scroll down here to district, you can see the districts for the city of Chicago. Let's go ahead and go back to the code. Now, on the next question, I'm asking you for the total number of crimes of type theft. And again, if we reference the dataset that is online, you can see here the type of crimes that are reported. Primary type, in this case, battery, theft, assault. And so in this case, I'm asking you to tell me, or to tell us, the total number of crimes of type theft. Now, the next question is we're asking you to tell us, once again, the total number of crimes that took place in the location street. And that is also listed here. You can see here location description, sidewalk, garage, street, apartment, residence, and so on. And so in this case, we simply want you to get a total of all of the crimes that took place in the street. Now, the last thing that you're going to have to do is to write the callback function for map, which will generate the points that will be used to illuminate the map with all of the different crimes that take place within the city. So let's go ahead and take a look at the function signatures within exercise.js. As you can see here, this is the one where you're going to count the records, the one where you're going to count the crimes in a district. The next one is where you are going to count the crimes of a specific type. The next one is the crimes of in a specific location. And the last one is to write the callback function for points of latitude and longitude. And I've given you here an example of what we want you to write. And as you can see there, you will create an object of point. This point will have 2 properties, one of latitude and longitude. And your job is to, from the crime data or from the crime that is passed into you, to identify the right column for the latitude and the right column for the longitude. So that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and load this file onto the browser. I believe I have it here. Yes, so you can see it there. And as you can see at this moment, there is no data on the map because none of the functions are running yet. However, I will be able to show you here let me go ahead and move my window over. And the errors that you see there are simply because the functions are not implemented, and that's simply what is coming back from the function and is being written to the screen. I'm going to clear the screen here. And what I wanted to show you here is that Chicago is an object, and that object has data. So as you can see there, all of the data is being listed. And if you wanted to access a specific one, let's say the first one in this case, you can get access to the information that way. So at this point, you should be able to answer the questions of the homework, and the only thing that is remaining is I will show you what you should expect by going back to the code, and I'm going to change the include file, and this will only work for me because I've written the solution on a file called solution.js, and so when I reload this page here, I should be able to see the data, the crime data, as you can see. And if I were to look on the console, I will also see the results from the counts coming back. So this should be a fun exercise. It gives you the kind of experience that a data scientist goes through as he or she is analyzing data. And in this case, we're visualizing it and asking a few questions. So with that, good luck and enjoy the homework.